imagine my son, either one of my sons, standing up and singing with me. I think that's so wonderful that you all have that in common. Hmm?
He puts up with me.
That's wonderful. So this is the beginning of my favorite holiday, New Year's. I love New Year's for this very reason, the opportunity for renewal. It's the time when I just get to step away from all of the stuff that happened that I wasn't too excited about last year, and to begin, I want you to look at the word renew. New all. So this is the time of the year that I get to take a look, to re-examine, to renew everything. I love that. It's like a do-over. So just a reminder that history has no power over the present. And when I make a determination to start new, to be available to the new, then I am moving forward in my life. But so often, the past has something that we believe has a hold on us. And the truth of the matter is, the past has no power except what we give it. Now here's what I think is really interesting. Every 7 years, our bodies have totally rejuvenated and changed. Every 7 years, I am a totally different person than I was 7 years ago. Now, that's the truth. So, what part of me is it that carries over? What part of me is the part that is the original? Nothing. Except what I believe, what I remember, what I think. So, when I talk about new, I am every day in potential of being new, only because of my thoughts. And as we know in this philosophy, change your thinking, change your life. Good morning. Come on in. So, I can, this day, or any particular day, make a decision to start new. Because there's nothing except my thoughts that are carrying forward. And because in this philosophy, we can change our thinking, and therefore we can change our minds. It's all new. It's all new. So, I would like for you to just think of the little children. Think of them. Now, what part of them, which part of them is it that we want to criticize and that we want to judge and that we want to say, oh? None of it, right? They are perfect just the way they are. Each Each one of them is perfect just the way they are. And we all came into this world in that same perfection. We all came perfect, whole, and complete. So just like there's nothing to judge or criticize about the children, there's really nothing to judge or criticize about us. At all. Period. But we find ourselves doing that, not only judging ourselves harshly, but judging other people and judging other people's behavior. So, why do we do that? I think it's because we all got our stories, right? And it seems to me like now's the time, at this opportunity for renew all, so let go of our stories and return to our essential self. There's nothing that's holding on to our stories but us, over and over and over and over again. Our whole body has changed over a 7-year period of time. Our lives have changed over a 7-year period of time. But boy, don't we tend to hold on to our stories? The blah, 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 blah. We talk about it. We tell people about it. We're victimized by it. Blah, 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 blah. And the truth of the matter is, that's just old business. Now, so for me, the new year is the time to take a look, reevaluate. What do I want to hold on to? I was raised by some really superstitious women. So for New Year's, we have to have, in my family, coleslaw for health and wealth, money. We have to have black-eyed peas for health and wealth and money. We have to have pozole for health and wealth and money. And by that time, there isn't room for anything else.
And then,
What?
and then you have health.
And then you have health and wealth and money. But also, we're superstitious in that the house has to be cleaned. Everything under the bed has to be cleaned out because that's bad feng shui when you got, and closets have to be cleaned out. You have to purge all of the old. Now, some or the other of that I adhere to. I do have coleslaw, pozole, and black-eyed peas. Don't be coming and looking under my bed. There's some dust bunnies under there that I pet and I call George. George is my pet dust bunny that I had ever since I moved in. I want to read this little wisdom from Charles Spurgeon. And he says, if you are renewed, made new again by grace, and were to meet your old self, I'm sure you would be very anxious to get out of his or her company. So, we are changing. We are becoming new. And it's only in retrospect that we're maybe able to recognize that. But we keep our stories. So I'm suggesting to you today, at this time of renewal, renew all. That maybe you want to take a look at your life. Just sort of examine it all, fearlessly. Just like some people clean their closets. Take a look at your life fearlessly and maybe be willing to purge all of those old stories. Purge the outdated reasons why you are out of harmony with a former mother-in-law that you have, who's dead. Now, what was that about? Is that worth churning yourself up around? Somebody said to me that, and just only from this perspective, that we protect ourselves against the judgments of those who have long since passed away. So we are taking up the position of those that we protected ourselves against oh so long ago. What's the point of that? And so I'm saying to you today, over this next few days, the time for renew all, a time for examining your life. Take a look and see where it is that you are protecting yourself from someone, something, some judgment that is no longer pertinent, is no longer around, that has no impact on your life at all. It's just a real bad habit that we fall into. That old angst that has no bearing at all any longer. Maybe you can call up a picture of yourself, of when you were so perfectly young, like our little ones. Maybe you can remember the essence of who you were before all of the judgments started. Remember your God self, your God essence that is beyond judgment and beyond criticism. That's what the new year is about. That's what the opportunity for renew all is about. To just like you, my grandmother and my mother would purge their closets, just purge yourself of all of the old judgments, all of the old business, all of the old stuff that doesn't serve you any longer. And remember and return to the essence of who you are, the precious God being that you came into this world to be. And when we let go of all of the old stuff, all of the old judgments, the old criticisms, the old stories, the old hurts, the old pains, the old blah, 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 the world, the universe, God, the essence, hates a vacuum. And when you purge yourself of all of that, you create space. Teilhard de Chardin, I mentioned this before, I love this line. He talks about the zest of the joy of becoming. And when you empty out all of the old stuff, when you clear it all out, when you let go of all of the old stories, you create a vacuum within yourself. You purge yourself of silly history. And because the universe hates a vacuum, watch and see what flows forth to fill up that space. All of the new opportunities, all of the new joys, all of the new relationships, all of the new confidence. When you let go of it all and clear it all out, amazing and wonderful, beautiful God stuff flows into the space that you've made. I make a promise to you that will happen if you just let it all go. And when you find yourself going through that old tape, you know the one. Do you remember those cassette tape players? You put the cassette in and there would be this horrible springy kind of icky noise and the tape was just annihilated. Remember that? So just allow yourself now to cut that tape, just like there was no saving the cassette tape. You had to cut it out to get it out of the tape recorder, right? Just allow yourself to do that. Start fresh. Cut the tape of the old stories and allow that space for the wonderment of spirit to pour exciting, satisfying, joyful opportunities, relationships, abundance, dynamic good health, vigor, vitality, the zest for the joy of becoming. Allow that. And of course you can do that anytime. But it's so appropriate. It's so powerful to do it around this time, the new year. Because there's a sense of anticipation and a sense of excitement and a sense of the new. I love to get, and I've got new journals, gold sparkly journal. I've got a new calendar that I haven't written in yet. Wait until the first day. I got a new address book that I haven't written in. Because I told you, I come from a very superstitious family. I am gearing up. I'm getting ready. And I don't know what's going to flow in to fill the space. But what I know is it's exciting and it's fresh and it's joyful. Because I cut those old tapes. I am willing, and I hope you join me, I'm willing to let the universe fill in the vacuum. I'm willing to change my thinking and change my life, as we teach here. So I want to just read you a final reading that I just discovered this book not too long ago. Actually, I discovered it. Bruce Sanguin was a speaker at our conference in Vancouver last year. And I ordered this book, and I hadn't looked at it. I don't know. Are you all like that? Do you have a gazillion books on your shelf that you haven't read yet? Well, when you need them, they'll be there. Just like this, from Bruce Sandwin, If Darwin Prayed, Prayers for the Evolutionary Mystic. And he says this in his poem, prayer/poem, A Year of Living Wisely. We arrive with New Year's determination and disciplined resolve to get off sugar, be more generous, find a new job, and take the bus more often. All good intentions, each with its own track record. Help us to remember, O Holy One, an intention to walk the path of wisdom this year, the way of the open-hearted sojourner. We seek gnosis and knowing that our souls awaken only to projects that are soul-sized. Listen to that. Only to projects that are soul-sized. Ones that overshadow the desperate dramas of ego. Like awakening to wonder and our unity with all that is. Soul-sized. Awakening to wonder into our unity with all that is, and seeing the face of Christ in the stranger, in the exiled, and in those who are so often too close to us to see with sacred vision, like ourselves. Soften our determination to do more, relax our resolve, and release us from the wiles of willpower, ego's happy servant. Enroll us in the Wisdom Academy to sit as pupils at her feet so that our own might be led by Sophia. Sophia, the Lady of Wisdom, into the mystic. Amen. So, Happy New Year. I love you all. Namaste. So I invite the